I thought about this yesterday. If aliens came down and said, "Hey, let me get this right, guys. You have one of the most beautiful cities in the world next to the largest body on the largest body of water on the planet, and yet you can't figure out how to put out fires." Those aliens would think we're the stupidest creatures in the universe. So I don't know what's going on in terms of preparation. I think that this city, during certain windy seasons, when the Santa Ana winds come up, you prepare for this. You stick fire engines at the top of the hills. You douse the mountains with water. You have pipelines that bring seawater up. You engineer for this.
He's lost his business to the fire. Gregg, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a very trying 4 days. That is for damn sure.
We're just really want to begin by just saying so sorry about what has happened to you and your family. I don't think any of us can really imagine the turmoil that you must be in. But I suppose just tell us how you're feeling and what's happened to you and your family.
Well, you get in a pretty good routine. I live in the Palisades. My business is in the Palisades. My three daughters go to three different schools in the Palisades, and we've been there since 2009. And you get into a routine of serenity, and all that was taken away in a matter of 3 or 4 hours on Tuesday. And For me, when the evacuations came out, I had three things to do all in an hour and a half. I have a recovery business for people that are suffering from addiction and alcoholism called Startup Recovery. They live in the Palisades in three houses on the hill, and I had to get them out. I had to get my staff out down the hill and to a safe haven. Then I had to scoop up two of my three daughters with the evacuations from their schools. And then last but not least, I had to go back to my house and gather up whatever I could to get out. And luckily, we got out. We're in Santa Monica. We're here with our dogs. My business has apartments, and we had an open apartment. But what's crazy about this is a couple things. One is this isn't our first fire. We've had fires for every couple of years, but you normally pack a bag for 2 days, you go to a hotel, and then you get to come back. And so that's what we planned. We packed for 2 days. That's it. And we're not coming back. Nobody's coming back. I am on a text chain with 11 families who are on our soccer team for one of my girls. All 11 families lost their homes. And what I want to get to your audience is this, is that my daughters, their little minds, their little hearts are having a tough time processing this, clearly. Because here's why. When you move to the Palisades, you're making a promise to your children that they live in the safest neighborhood in the country. And for the past 4 days, that has not been the truth.
Gosh. Well, Gregg, I mean, it is just an absolutely kind of hideous situation. And where are you staying now? Like, where are you and other families that you know, where are you staying? What happens next for you guys?
So people are scattering. I'm in Santa Monica. I'm a few miles south of the Palisades. I'm safe, but we were thinking about what long-term rental we could go move into, because we're going to have to start our lives over in a whole completely neighborhood. And so I found this beautiful house in Woodland Hills, 4 bedrooms, a pool, and would have moved there 2 days ago. But guess what? If I had, I'd be evacuated again. That's the insanity of what's going on here in Los Angeles. Is families can't make decisions because there's fires in every part of Los Angeles.
I mean, what does that make you feel about Los Angeles? I mean, is it safe to live there after all of this?
Well, so let me put it to you this way. I thought about this yesterday. If aliens came down and said, "Hey, let me get this right, guys. You have one of the most beautiful cities in the world next to the largest body on the largest body of water on the planet, and yet you can't figure out how to put out fires. Those aliens would think we're the stupidest creatures in the universe. So I don't know what's going on in terms of preparation. I think that this city, during certain windy seasons, when the Santa Ana winds come up, you prepare for this. You stick fire engines at the top of the hills. You douse the mountains with water. You have pipelines that bring seawater up. You engineer for this. And I think on a global scale, it's a major failure because guess what? Countries like Australia and Israel, they do this stuff. They use their oceans to prepare for large fires. So I'm kind of pissed, for sure. I'm not the only one that's pissed.
And who do you think has to take responsibility for this? I mean, as I said in my introduction, there's a petition calling for the mayor to resign. The governor, Gavin Newsom, has had a lot of criticism. Do you blame them? Who do you think's at fault here, Gregg?
Well, people have been leaving California for a few years, just because of the way this country is. I mean, the way this state is run. I wasn't always one of those people. I liked where I lived because of being in the Pacific Palisades. It creates such a special place for people to live. But based upon what I know, and there's a gentleman here in Los Angeles who's a beacon of light and a major force. His name is Rick Caruso, and he's had incredible ideas on how to fix things. And I think that I'm going to be real honest with you. We need a new mayor. We need a new governor. We need to start over and start listening to people who are actually successful, not just politicians who that's the only thing they know how to do is be politicians. Show me businessmen or businesswomen, entrepreneurs who started companies from nothing and now are billionaires. Let's listen to those people. That's where I'm going.
Interesting. Well, look, Gregg, just all our condolences for what you and your family have gone through. I really hope that some peace comes to you now and you can start rebuilding things. But obviously, it's still an incredibly anxious time. Thanks very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for allowing me to come on today. I'm very grateful to people like you who are sharing our stories.
Cheers. Thanks, Gregg, and good luck. That's Gregg Champion. He was speaking to us there from Los Angeles. He's lost his home, his business, and I think you could really hear the anger there in his voice. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen the pictures. It's absolutely horrific. And from what he said, the speed of it as well, the speed at which this fire kind of ripping through these neighborhoods.